right, and speaking of the Marvel Universe, we're going to move on to our main topic today. Do you have any idea what it is?
Well, could be WandaVision, you know.
Yeah, no big deal. That Wandavision came out this past weekend on Disney Plus, and Wandavision serves as a lot of things. First of all, it serves as the first project of Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is cool. It serves as the first piece of content we've had from the Marvel Universe in about 525 days or so, which is a long, long time. And it serves, most importantly, as the first Marvel show on Disney Plus. It's the second big show on Disney Plus, really, after Mandalorian. So it has a lot to prove. It has a lot to show audiences, and we're going to discuss it today. So episode 1 and 2 came out. Some people have seen episode 3, but we've only seen 1 and 2 because we're not that cool. And I thought it was, just going off of, for the first 5 minutes or so, we'll probably talk without any spoilers, and then we'll go into spoilers in just a few minutes, and we'll give a warning for those of you who haven't seen it. But I think most of you have probably seen it by now. If not, you should just go watch it. It's pretty great. So episode 1 and 2 came out, which I at first thought was a very interesting choice for them to release 2 on one day. But now I kind of understand why they did it. First of all, both episodes are pretty short. The first one's without credits is 23 minutes, which is pretty short. And then the second is 30. But it makes sense. It's a sitcom show, and sitcoms are typically about 23 minutes, the ones that are on TV at least. And speaking of sitcoms, the show goes very heavily into the sitcom style that you see in the trailers. And I honestly was a bit surprised by that myself. I thought they were going to kind of do it just a little bit here and there, but no, it's the main thing of the show, at least for now. And I liked it. I thought it was very different than what we normally see from Marvel, and thought it was very funny. I thought it was, at parts, it was pretty dark. You can see it's heading in a very dark direction, but we'll get more into that in a minute. Episode 1 was themed around the 50s. Episode 2 is themed around the 60s. And I thought they pulled it off pretty well. I wasn't alive during those times, so I'm not super familiar with the TV shows from then. But it felt pretty authentic to me, and I was very impressed. What are your first very vague impressions of the show?
I thought it was a very quality show, and I think that it the first episode I think was strictly made to introduce the show, and I think the second one was more to kind of let us know what's going on, or
just give an idea that something is wrong.
Yeah.
What did you like most about the first 2 episodes?
I kind of liked that. Oops.
No, you're good.
Okay. I kind of liked they kind of take an approach where it can they're trying to make it funny, and at the same time they make it information, they inform you on what's happening in this show.
Pause. All right, keep going.
And I think that if they can keep it as good as it is, and it's likely going to be a lot better in the next few episodes, I think that it can be one of the top things that Marvel has done.
I agree. All right, well, let's go into some spoilers. This is your warning. We will be covering spoilers now. So if you catch spoilers and you haven't seen it yet, well. All right. Just because we're talking about the sitcoms, I figured we could do that. Yeah. So we will now be talking spoilers about episode 1 and 2. In my opinion, episode 1 was a funnier episode, while episode 2 was more it moved the show along a little bit more, but it didn't really move it along that much. Is what a lot of people are saying, and I would agree. But I still thought the first 2 episodes were great. It's just the first 2 of 9 episodes. We didn't have to learn everything. And I think with the week-to-week release schedule, I think that's great because it's going to create opportunities for fans to discuss and make theories and wonder about what's going to happen next. And I think that the show will benefit from that a lot. I think had this show had all 9 episodes come out at the same time, it would have suffered a little bit because you wouldn't have had time to really think about the mystery aspect of the show. Do you like the week-to-week
I do.
release?
It leaves me wanting more. So if someone had just subscribed to Disney Plus, which I think they should have had it a long time ago for The Mandalorian, obviously. Yeah, I think if you're just now getting Disney Plus, I think them doing week to week is a good decision because, well, one, it leads you into another show. So, because now it will have a lot of stuff like almost every week of the year.
Yeah, because after
this
show will end on March. The week before March 12th, I think, and then there will be 1 week, and then March 19th will be Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and I think the week to week keeps the subscribers. So like if they released all 9 episodes, they're like people would watch them and then like not subscribe to Disney Plus until Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out, which is another 3 months away.
Yeah.
And so I think week to week leaves everyone questioning and making sure they keep the subscription.
Well, also, when Netflix releases a show, they release everything at once, and people talk about the show a lot, but they only talk about it for 2 days, 3 days. But with Mandalorian and soon to be with WandaVision, people discuss it the day it comes out every single week, which is 8 or 9 weeks. So they get 9 weeks of being the number one thing people are talking about when it comes to entertainment. And now they'll have that year round, which I think is awesome for business. And it's a very good decision. And I think it benefits this show specifically. And just as a Marvel fan, I like it because I like having something to look forward to every week from Marvel. And so the sitcom style, they really went all in with it. These first 2 episodes were black and white. They were in the old aspect ratio that old TV shows were in. They filmed them in front of a live audience, which was very impressive that no details really came out considering people had seen them film it a year ago. And I thought all those things and even down to how they were talking, the things they were saying, the way they spoke, I thought enhanced and made the sitcom style more believable. The acting in these episodes were great. I thought Vision, played by Paul Bettany, I thought he was the best part of these episodes personally. I thought his comedy was awesome. And I did not even really expect that from him. From the Vision character we've known, Vision's not really been a comedic character, but he's responsible for a lot of the comedy in these episodes, and I like that a lot. The side characters I thought were very interesting, entertaining as well. Some of them, I think it's pretty obvious. Some of them are from the outside world, and it's also pretty obvious that, in my opinion at least, that Wanda is controlling this reality, at least the good parts. And I think there's also someone trying to mess with it a little bit, trying to mess with her and push her over the edge a little bit. And that's all I really know because they haven't been very specific. So was there anything in these episodes that stood out to you or that you thought were worth noting here?
Well, I think at the end of episode 1, you could see the logo for S.W.O.R.D., which, if you don't know, is kind of like Shields, but after...
It's a part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It's a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., yes. And we've seen a few movies ago that S.H.I.E.L.D. went down, literally crashing. And I see that they could possibly be... trying to get Wanda out or get Wanda out of this reality and back to the normal reality that everyone else is in. And I also think that there's a chance that Dolly, I think it is, I think that she could be the one controlling her.
Yeah, she seemed really, really off in the crowd of the magic show. It made me wonder if she was the one. There were the commercials in these episodes, and they had very clear references to the MCU. The first one was the toaster by Stark Industries, and then the second was the watch by Strucker with the Hydra logo also in the bottom corner. Do you think that these mean anything for the show, or do you think they're just like Easter eggs for Marvel fans to discover?
I think these most likely are just memories from Wanda, because of course Hydra was what was keeping her, and a bomb from Stark Industries was what killed her parents.
Yeah, and even some people have speculated that the people in the commercials were her parents, but we don't know. We've never seen them before, so it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just Easter eggs, though. I don't think they're gonna move the show forward or anything like that. And I think there will be these commercials in the other episodes as well, but I guess we'll see. And also, there were some parts in these episodes that really showed Wanda being in control. Like towards the end of the second episode, the beekeeper comes through the sewer, and Wanda and Vision are out there, and Wanda sees it, and she obviously knows what's going on. None of us do. I don't, unless you've read the comics. I believe that is. I think some people knew who that was that have seen the episode, but the general audience does not know. Wanda obviously knows, and she just says no, and it rewinds, and it just pretends like it never happens. So it's clear she has some sort of control over what's going on. And I think that's very interesting. I think we'll start to see more of that in episode 3, and episode 4. Supposedly episode 3 is kind of the end of the first act of the show, and that's probably why they let the media see episodes 1 through 3 already. I think at episode 4, it's probably going to start to change a bit and start to unravel the mystery a little bit more. What do you think? Do you agree?
I do agree. And I think like the last 2 or 3 episodes will be like fight scenes possibly.
Like action and normal MCU?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are several characters on the main cast we haven't yet seen. Randall Park as Agent Jimmy Woo, I think is his name, from Ant-Man and the Wasp. And also Kat Dennings as Darcy, I believe is her name, from Thor. They're both supposed to be main cast members of this show, and we haven't seen them yet. So I've heard we see the Randall Park agent in the 3rd episode, supposedly. So I think we start to get introduced to them pretty soon. But I hope to see them soon, because those are both pretty good characters, at least from what we've seen. And I agree. I think the last 3 will be Marvel-style episodes. I think the first 6, there's going to be 9. The first 6, the most popular theory is the first 6 will be sitcom style, and they'll be leading to episodes 7, 8, and 9, where we really see the reality break, and whatever action is going to happen happens. And I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think Vision is actually back, or do you think he's just in her mind? Like when we leave these sitcom fake realities, alternate dimensions, whatever they are, do you think we'll see Vision at all, or do you think he's just in her imagination?
Well, I think we could see him back, but I think he's also in her imagination, because we obviously see him in her imagination, but in Avengers Infinity War, we also hear that they say Vision isn't just the Mind Stone. I think like there's another part to Vision, and if they can find a way to bring that back, I think Vision could be brought back to the MCU.
I think that's possible, but I also, from what I have heard, Wanda will be in Doctor Strange too. And I've heard rumors she might be a villain. And so if that happens, I think it'll be because Vision's not there, or maybe he's there and he dies again or something. But I think the show is going to go from what it is right now, which is pretty upbeat, happy, funny. I think it's going to go to something pretty dark and dramatic. So we'll see. A lot of people have been, the reaction's been fairly good from critics, but from the audience, it's a little bit less. Most people have said it's pretty good, but they just want to know where it's going, and some people have found it to be pretty slow. Do you agree with them at all?
I do not agree with them. I think they're taking it at a good pace, and as I've said earlier, the first episode was introducing it, and the second one was more like kind of letting us know what's going on.
Yeah. So do you have any predictions for future episodes?
I think in the future, they definitely will be find out that this is all in our head, or the characters will, or
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that in future episodes they'll like hint more and more until they find out, and I think that's when the action scenes will happen.
Yeah, I predict in the middle of the show, maybe episode 4 or 5. I think they'll be successful in taking Wanda out of the reality, but I think she'll go back for like episode 5 and 6 maybe. But then in 7, 8, and 9, I think they won't be in sitcoms anymore. I think it'll just be action. We've seen most of what was shown in the trailers already in these first 2 episodes, which means there's a lot they're hiding from us, and they're doing a pretty good job, which I'm pretty happy about. Normally things will leak out, especially considering a lot of people have seen episode 3. I haven't really seen any spoilers, which is great. I hope it stays that way because I like the surprise of it. Yeah. Do you have any last thoughts on this?
Not really. No.
Okay. Cool. Well, we will discuss WandaVision again next week, more than likely for episode 3. And next week we'll probably do a live stream, more in depth, more than likely, if there's more that comes out. But these first 2 just were more of an introduction, and there wasn't much information given, but we both liked it a lot. We've actually watched it several times now. And each time I notice different things, different Easter eggs, and it's really enjoyable. So if you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend checking it out. And you should use the tip link at streamelements.com/relive the magic/tip. Leave your thoughts there. Let us know what you thought. Any theories you may have. If you hated it, you should tell us that too, and tell us why, because it's always interesting to hear different reactions, different opinions, and we'd love to hear from you on that.